so you have a bit of a niche then, don't you? So you've worked with councils, you've worked with charities.
Yep, absolutely.
So what sort of work do you do with charities then?
I do. From a professional perspective, I'm involved with the Clare Foundation, run by Mike Clare, based up in Saunderton. That's Mike Clare, who used to own Dreams before he sold it for lots and lots of money, and worth every penny, I'm sure. And what I do with the Clare Foundation is I am a business volunteer. They have a network of business volunteers, and if there's any business people listening who think that they might like to help out, I'm sure the Clare Foundation would be happy to hear from them. And in effect, we put ourselves into a volunteer bank, if you like, and we are a resource waiting to be used. And what the Clare Foundation does is acts as in this respect, it does many things, but in this respect, it acts as a clearinghouse. So if a charity then comes to them and says, we need help with X, Y, or Z, they look through the volunteer bank, or they use the LinkedIn group to say, can anybody help with this? And if I wanted to try and find a charity to help, that would be quite difficult, and if they wanted to find me, that might be quite difficult. But as I say, Clare Foundation acts as a clearinghouse, and as an example, at the moment there is a Wickham-based charity who again should probably remain nameless, but hey, they knew their website wasn't doing what it should for them, and they wanted help making it better. And I made clear I'm not a web designer, but I am quite good at words. I'm quite good at drawing out from people what it is that they want to be saying, and I've done a lot of work with them now to change all of the words on the website to get their message across more effectively. And I've now brought in a web design company also based in Wickham, with whom I have past experience and have confidence, and they are just starting work on the actual design side of the new website. So, and is it a bunch of hours that I'm giving to that charity? Yep. Does it make me feel good? Yep. Does it bring me in any money? Nope. But
it might well do eventually if there's lots of people involved in those charities, aren't there? And you go to events.
That's not my motivation, but I recognise that as a potential outcome. And also I will be able to use, once the website is live, I'll be able to use it as a sort of a case study or an example of what I can.
But charities have particular problems at the moment. I mean, they're all suffering. Their money isn't being handed out lightly. We've always said it's tough times, and there's a lot of charities.
Yeah,
and they're not always very well run, unfortunately.
No, and again, that's a key purpose of the Clare Foundation, and I am being very brave in saying what Mr. Clare thinks, but as far as I know from having heard him say such things, he got very disappointed by charities approaching him for money, and he did a bit of digging into those charities and found out how badly they were run, and therefore how badly his money might be used. So what he decided to do with the Clare Foundation was to set something up to help charities to become more professional in all sorts of ways, not just the volunteer network that I've spoken about.